Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be following up on our series of how to open an Etsy shop. So a couple videos back, I showed you everything that you need to do to prepare to open your shop. Today we're going to jump in and actually do it. This might be a long video, so pause, come back, do whatever you need to make it work for you. But my goal is for you to be able to start to finish, open your Etsy shop and be ready to rock. This tutorial is specific for print on demand or digital items only. So if you are doing a physical inventory type of shop, you'll have to get the shipping information and how to configure that all separately. But my video should help you with the rest of everything that you need to have ready to go. So without further ado, let's jump in and let's get this going together. Okay, so here we are in etsy.com/sell. So this is the easiest way to get started. So I'll walk you through it. So we're gonna go ahead and click Get Started. Let me move this out of the way. So here, it just has me logged in on one of my accounts. This one I don't have attached to an actual shop. Once I get you through this part, I will switch over to a shop that I actually have open because I'm not actually opening another shop, so just bear with me on that. But what we'll do is we'll click Let's Do This. So there will be a one-time $29 setup fee, so that's why I don't want to open an extra shop right now, but I will show you everything regardless. All right, so let's do this. So you're going to walk through all of the steps here. What brings you to Etsy? I'm curious. I have items that I design, make, or collect. I currently sell my items somewhere else, or I already have an Etsy shop and want to open a new one. So you pick whatever is best for you. I think I would probably go with I have items that I design, make, or collect, and I want to sell them for the first time. That's probably going to be where most of you fall. Now we'll go through and start the shop. Okay, so you're going to click through your shop preferences. Most of you are going to be in English, but you can choose a different language if that's appropriate for you. Country, you choose where you're at. I'm in the United States, and then what currency you want it to be in. So a lot of you are probably going to be the US dollar, but there are plenty of sellers in other areas, Australia, Europe, Canada. But go ahead and click what fits for you, and then you press continue. Here's the fun part. So in my prior video, you should have already come up with all of these things. So you can enter your shop name. This should be something that is easy to understand, easy to remember. Please don't make it confusing or it's going to make it really, really hard for people to find your shop. Say you're having a conversation with somebody in person and you're like, oh yeah, I saw that stuff on Etsy. You want to tell them something that they're going to easily remember so that they can go type in and search for that shop name when they get home. So this is where you'll put that in. I am renaming one of my shops Churchill Threads, but it looks like it's already taken because I have already taken that. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and do Churchill Threads since I'm not going to go ahead and do the whole thing anyhow. Save and continue. So here's where you're going to put in your information for how you will get paid. So super important, you're going to put in your bank information. You should already have this ready. Select whether you're an individual or sole proprietorship or an incorporated business. Most of you will be in this individual section here. If you have a full business already going, you might be in the incorporated business side. Then you're going to go ahead and fill in all of your information, your taxpayer address, your social security number, all of that. I'm not going to put this in since I'm not actually opening the shop, but then you'll click through the save and continue down here and put in your billing information and select your security settings. So when you're all done with that, you'll get to your shop dashboard and I will show you how to do things from there. So let me pause this for a moment. I will jump over and log into my actual shop that I've got going and we'll go from there. All right, so here we are in Etsy.com. I'm logged into my account. And then if you look here in the top right, you'll see this little storefront icon. If you click on that, that's going to take you to your shop manager. This is easily viewed on the computer. I highly suggest that when you're setting up your shop, you do everything from a desktop. You can do a lot of this from the mobile app, but it is just a little bit easier to see everything and keep things organized from the desktop. So this is your shop manager. So here we've got welcome back, Churchill Threads. This is your direct link to your Etsy website. So if you click on that, it will open your link in a new tab. This will tell you your stats. So how many views you've had, how many visits you've had, how many orders you have, and your revenue. You can change that from today, yesterday. You can look at the last 7 days overall. You can look at the last 30 days overall. Again, this is a shop that I'm reconfiguring. It did okay during the holidays, but I've been open since May and I only have 23 sales in this shop. So, I'm trying to find something that's going to work a little bit better for me and kind of going with the flow there. So, let's go ahead and walk through everything from the ground up. So, underneath your settings, this on the left side is going to give you all of the information that you need to start with. So we're going to go step by step. Info and appearance. So your shop name is already determined. That is something that you can change if you need to. If you want to change things, you click on the shop name part here and you enter your new shop name from there. And then just hit save. But that will adjust your URL link and it'll change the name of your shop when people search for you. Your old shop name will redirect there. So this is good if you're kind of changing pace. Say you started as a t-shirt shop and now you want to sell just ornaments. Maybe your Casey's t-shirts doesn't fit anymore. So you need to change your shop name to fit what you sell now. So info and appearance, the shop title is going to be something that goes like underneath. So let's go ahead and look at my one that's active and doing well. So this is my Daybreak Digital shop. So over here, we've got Daybreak Digital's US. We've got a shop banner. That's what this is called. We've got the shop logo. And then if you click down, you can see like the about section. So this is going to tell you like about the shop, kind of where it came from, shop policies, shipping, digital downloads, payment options. All of this stuff is what we're working on here today. Okay. So why don't we just work our way down? We'll start with the shop title. This is going to be a little bit about what your shop does. So if you are a custom t-shirt shop for different activities, you're going to write, custom #1 fan t-shirts, or, if you sell digital planner things, then you're going to say digital planners for the modern mom, whatever fits for you. So mine is going to be custom blankets and cozy threads. I'll change this later, but put something on there. For your shop icon, you want this to be about 500 pixels by 500 pixels. So I'm just using Canva for my shop icons and banners. So I've just come up with some really basic things. I'll probably tweak these later, but this is going to be a shop banner and this is going to be an icon. So you just hit share and then download and save it as a PNG file. So here we're going to go ahead and upload the shop icon. So we're going to choose a file and I'm going to find mine here. So here's my logo. And we'll hit open and press save. Okay, looks good. You can always crop it if you needed to. So if you needed to, you can, just highlight a certain section of it. That's not what I want. I want the whole thing. So I'm going to scan that out and just press save. It looks good. Okay, now we're going to add a banner. This says order receipt banner. So that I actually have not done before. I would probably make a thank you thing in Canva, but note here, it does tell you the pixels. So you want it to be 760 pixels by 100 pixels. So when you're in Canva, You can create something else here. So I'll take this as the base and then resize and just double check. So 760 by 100. So I'll go to custom size and then type it in here, 100, copy and resize. And then maybe on this part here, I'll just type in thank you. So let me, thank you. And then I would save that. So I, of course, will have to adjust this. But there we go. Okay, so then I would share it. Oh, let me make sure everything's in the right space. So we want that to be up at the top, not hidden underneath things. Perfect. So share, download, PNG file. I don't want a transparent background. I just want this page, and I press download. So Canva is super easy. You can have the free version or the pro. I use the pro because it allows me to save SVGs and do all sorts of things that work for my designing, but you do what works for you. So thank you, banner, and save. So it's super easy. So now we're gonna do that over here. So we just pull it in and now we're set. So a shop announcement, here when you're opening, I would just do something like, hello, welcome to my shop. I'm so excited you are here. Please let me know if you have any questions. We can make custom modifications to any design if you let us know. Message to buyers. So this is going to go on the receipt page and the emails when they purchase something from your shop. So say thank you so much for your purchase. I will get your blanket going. I will get your blanket ready and sent to you as soon as possible. Please let me know if you have any questions in the meantime. So just a little something to say thank you, let them know that you're going to work on their item and go from there. Same thing for digital items. So in this shop that I have, it's just going to be print on demand, so I won't have any digital things. But this would be, you know, if you are doing a digital planner or SVG files or something like that, you would want to put in a thank you for your purchase thing and, you know, give a note like, hey, if you have any difficulty opening your file or accessing it, you know, let me know. So I'm going to say just thank you for your purchase. Please let me know if you have any, let's see, difficulty accessing your files. And then I put my name and press save changes. So super easy. So now if we looked at our shop, because I know you're just dying to do that, we would be able to see our banner and our logo, our icon. So let's go ahead and just take a little peek. So you're going to type in your name .etsy.com. So whatever you've labeled it as .etsy.com. Okay. Now my shop banner has not changed yet, but you can see here my icon has changed. So this is my old stuff. So just ignore that. It was a custom keepsake shop and it did okay. It did okay in the holidays, but we're revamping. Okay, so we're in the settings. We're going to go down to about your shop. So you can put in who are the members in your shop. So something that makes it relevant to you, makes you a little bit more personal. I highly recommend putting in an actual picture of yourself if possible. This allows people to see that you are an actual person selling something to them rather than a bot in a different country. You just want to make yourself as real as possible. So you can always add another shop member, put in a photo, a name, write their little bio. You choose what roles they have. So if they're different, say it's you and your spouse. So one of you does the product creation, one does the marketing and customer support. You can put both of those in there. All right, so I'm going to press cancel here. Story is super fun. So I'll have to update this for mine because I wrote one for my Remembrance Art Shop. So I'm going to say, welcome to Churchill Threads. And I will adjust that here. So something really cool for me is that I have developed this based on a family history. So my great grandfather was the founder of a small weaving company in Berea, Kentucky. This was known as Churchill Weavers. I am continuing the tradition with my custom woven blankets through Churchill Threads. And then you could put a little bit more on there, but I'm just going to leave this simple for now. I can always come back and tweak things later. This is a great place with the shop photos. This is a great place to add in a little bit of your behind the scenes stuff. So if you are a creator and you use Procreate and you draw all of your art for something for your product, have somebody take a picture of you actually drawing your art and put that up here so that people can see, hey, this is not AI art. This is a real person doing it. So pictures of your process go really, really well here and help people to build that trust and understanding for your shop. You can link down here social media, so Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. If you have a separate blog or a website, go ahead and link your stuff here so that people can easily find your other avenues and platforms. Okay, press save. I'm just going to do a lot of back and forth on this positioning here today. All right, so we've done the first two options, info and appearance and about your shop. So now we're going to go to options. Okay, so this allows you to determine a custom sorting order or just most recently listed, so how your items will appear. You can play around with this as you go. From the shop manager, you can always adjust things. So I would just start with one thing and see what it looks like and then go from there. Custom order requests. I do have that enabled on my shop so that people can reach out to me and say, hey, I wanted a blanket with this pattern on it. I want a floral blanket and I want my family's name and this emblem. Can you do that? And I'll say, yeah, sure. Let me put that together for you. I want to give that opportunity because I'm willing to do the extra work if I can. I am not offering gift wrapping. I'm using print on demand. So that's not going to be an option for me. Same thing with gift notes. So with Printify, if you're using that, there is an option for a gift note that costs 10 to 15 cents a piece. So determine if that's going to be appropriate for you. I'm going to go ahead and offer a gift note, but I will have to make sure I set that up in Printify in case somebody asks for a gift note. Okay. This is talking about selling within the EU. So you can have the option to sell things in the EU or not, but please make sure that you list all of your item information appropriately. So on Printify, I will show you here, if you go into one of your products, there's a little button that you can actually mark off like, yes, sell in the EU. So I'll show you here. So here's one of the woven blankets. And if you just scroll down, here is what I'm talking about, this general product safety regulation required in the EU. So it is as simple as Clicking that, and then all of this information here will automatically be pulled into your listing through Printify. So highly recommend that if you're willing to sell outside of the United States. Okay, so automatic listing translation. So that is just translating from English to another language. So I have that listed for me to go ahead and automatically translate. If you don't, then people will have to either view your items in English only or try to translate themselves. So sold listings. So if you want people to be able to see those, some people will list just one item. That's more for the physical items that, you made one crocheted hat and so you only have that one. So you can see that that's been sold. I'm going to go ahead and hide it. And then your time zone. So that helps if you have set shop hours, helps people know like, oh, hey, they're open from 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, but they're in the Eastern time zone. So even though it is 5 or 4:45 for me, I'm out in California and I know they're already closed. So highly recommend keeping that accurate. Okay, and of course you press save. Then we look at vacation mode. This is something where if you're going to be out of town, you won't be able to access your Etsy. You can always put your shop on vacation, okay? That will somewhat affect how you're seen in search results. So I would very rarely do that, but if you're getting a lot of orders all of a sudden, you can't keep up, you need to pause, go ahead and put your shop on vacation so you won't be able to get new items or new orders if you need to kind of slow things down a little bit. I hope you have that problem. Like, that sounds amazing. But you can put in an announcement there or an auto reply. So that way Etsy doesn't ding you on not replying to messages when you're out of town and don't have internet access or you're taking some time off. You could do that for the weekend if you really wanted to. Web analytics. I don't know anything about this. I don't have a Google Analytics account. That is something different. I'm not sure. Download data. This is helpful if you're trying to see information about your listings. So this can be super helpful if you're about to make a lot of changes with how your listings are viewed. Go ahead and download this CSV before you change your listings. That way, if you have certain tags for your items that were performing fairly well, but then you modify something, you know what to go back to because you have the records of that. So that can be highly beneficial for you there. Okay, this would be for like your order reports. So potentially good for just tracking your sales. I'm not currently using that. I have a separate sales spreadsheet that I use. And this is the same thing. So download your shop settings and your reviews so you can keep all of that information with you. So you would just click on download your reviews, move this again, and then it would open up here and it shows you what your reviews have been. It's not greatest formatting, but it gives you a record if you needed that. Okay. All right, last thing here on this tab is close shop. So this you're only going to use if you are not going to do your shop anymore, but considering you're just opening it, please don't press this. Give yourself a chance before you close your shop. All right, down to shipping settings. So everything, if you're doing print on demand, all of your shippings should go through Printify. So you should be able to pull your settings over from Printify. That's automatic. I'm not going to be adjusting anything on here because I am doing print on demand. If you sold stuff from your house, this is something that would be a little bit more relevant. But it is important to put down your order processing schedule. So if you are going to be doing a Monday through Friday, like end all be all, I'm setting really great boundaries for myself, I'm not going to work Saturday or Sunday, you probably should uncheck Saturday and Sunday for when you're processing orders. If you're processing orders on holidays, great. go ahead and check all of these off. But if you are really good at setting boundaries, maybe give yourself the holidays and don't process orders on days off. So Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day, Independence Day, you're planning to take this time off. Maybe you should not have these checked. Okay, right now I'm processing orders every day, so I'm going to go ahead and put that on. Okay, these are different processing profiles. Again, a lot of that pulls from Printify. Please don't get too much into the weeds of this stuff right now. Okay, free shipping guarantee. This is something that Etsy has done to try to encourage sellers to do free shipping. So if you want to provide free shipping, that means that the price that your customers will see on your shop is the price that they will pay plus tax, but they're not going to have an additional $8 shipping fee that kind of scares them away. So what Etsy is offering is that they will put your listings higher in the search listings if you're committed to doing free shipping. So I think for my shop, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to click through here and just do next, set free shipping now. Okay, and then the guarantee is turned on. Okay, so I will cover the shipping costs. I'll adjust all of that on my Printify, but I'll have to go through. I'll let this go ahead and build in the shipping prices right now, and then I'll just edit it all later. So we'll publish that. All right, so the prices are updated. Okay, package preferences. Again, for digital and print on demand, we're not doing that. Same with the rates and upgrades. We don't have to worry about that. So on to the next. Policy settings. This is super important too. So if you don't have shop policies, people will not trust your shop as well. So you want to make sure that you have a return and exchange policy, even if that means it is that we don't do returns and exchanges. You need to have something in place. Okay, so do what is right for whatever you sell. Order cancellations. My shop is going to accept order cancellations within the hour. That means that I need to make sure I'm not processing their order on Printify for at least an hour after that order is made, because I need to allow them the time to cancel it if they made a mistake. Okay. Privacy policy. I need to change this to just put the updated name. So Churchill Threads. The effective date, I'll just go ahead and put today. So it's March 1st, 2026. I actually had AI build this. You just open up either ChatGPT or Claude or whatever works for you. You can use the privacy policy generator here provided on Etsy, and it'll give you a generic privacy policy, basically saying like, hey, I'm not going to sell your information. I am not going to use your personal information in a way that is not appropriate. Okay. Fixed policies with delivery dates, custom and import taxes. You can adjust those if you need, but that's usually just shop-wide, so it's not editable here. So we will move down to partners you work with. Now this, I've got Printify listed as one of my partners because they do my production for all of my items. But this would be appropriate if you maybe sold stickers. Okay, so I use Hub City Slaps for my stickers to print them. So if I was selling those on this platform, I would add Hub City Slaps as a production partner so people understand where their things are coming from. Okay. Same thing for economic partners. So that's just going to be a little bit more specific to manufacturers and fulfillment service providers, similar to production partners. Okay. So we're making good progress here. All right, offsite ads. So you can opt out of offsite ads if you would like, or you can keep them on. So I will tell you that these can sometimes be outrageous in terms of fees. I had an item that somebody found from Google that they purchased from me on my other shop. And I think the fee was like $4 or something for Google to have this be found by a customer. And I like nearly lost money getting this item to my customer because the profit was not even as much as what I paid for the ads. So depending on what you're selling, you may want to opt out. If your margins are really small, I probably would just opt out of the offsite ads. If you have a pretty decent margin, you're getting $5+ of profit per item, maybe keep it on, but understand that there are going to be times where those offsite ads will eat up at your profits pretty significantly. Okay, languages and translations. So this is for you to translate on your own. So we opted to auto translate earlier. We're going to keep with that. Etsy Plus. Okay, I have looked into this. I don't see a purpose in doing Etsy Plus. That's just for me. I don't work for Etsy. I use it as a tool. For me, it doesn't make any sense. So benefits are that you get $8 in credits each month for listings and ads. You have marketplace insights, so that they have done better with now. So you can actually use marketplace insights to research items. So if you're still trying to figure out what works well, what sells well, and you don't have another device for that, such as Allura, eRank, any of those, you may want to try this. You can customize your shop page a little bit more, so you can have different colors and like a rotating carousel in your banner. Not worth it for me, okay? But Etsy Plus is an option for you if that makes sense for you. And then Facebook Shops, this is where you can link your Facebook and Instagram. I'm not going to do that here either. All right, so we've gone through all of the settings now. You should have your finances already pulled through because when you set up your shop, you put that in there. So yeah, you see I owe 80 cents because my credit card expired and I have a new one, so I have to fix that. Don't mind that. Under the finances and the monthly statements, this is where you're going to see your sales, your fees, your marketing. So marketing, this would be from like Etsy ads or offsite ads. Fees, that's what Etsy collects from their listing fees, transaction fees, processing fees. If you use the share and save, meaning that you link directly to your items and somebody buys from that, you do save a little bit of money. So when you bring your own traffic, you're doing well. And then your sales are listed over here. We're going to skip through all of this for right now. Marketing. So Etsy ads, I would not do Etsy ads in your first couple of weeks. Give it a little bit and see how you do. You're going to get a push, an extra push where your items will be seen for a couple weeks. So about 14 to 21 days, typically, you'll be listed higher in the ranks when people search for items and your keywords. So I would hold off on Etsy ads until you see that something's actually performing well. And then you can double down on that item so that you can get more people going to that. Sales and discounts. Again, as a brand new Etsy seller, you may not need to do a sale or a discount. It really depends on how you want to do your shop. So if you want to overprice and then always have a 50% off sale going just because that looks good to buyers, go ahead and set that up. From here, you would just press run a sale and then set up from there. So you would do like 50% off or whatever that is. You can have a duration. So say you want it to go from today until Friday and you want it to, so we can do a March Madness sale, whatever. That's your sale name. And then you continue. You can do select listings. So you don't have to run a sale on everything. So you can click by the shop section, that sort of a thing, or you could do it on everything. Okay. I'm not running a sale right now. You can also do like a thank you offer, abandoned cart offer. So if somebody puts something in their cart and then they go away, you next time they log on, they can say, "Oh, hey, I can get $1 off or 10% off or whatever that is." Again, pick things that will still be within a reasonable place for your budget. So, knowing your numbers, knowing how much profit you're going to get from something and how much wiggle room you actually have is key. So, make sure that you don't set up all of these things because you're excited and then you don't have the wiggle room to do that and you're losing money. We don't want that. Okay. So that's where you do all of your sales and discounts. Details and stats will just show you what you've run in the past. So your offers, how many emails were sent, how many times somebody used it, your revenue that came from it. So that will help you track like what works really well for you so you can repeat that in the future. Social media. All right, so this is a great way just to copy your link information. If you've reached a milestone and you want to share that, they've got all sorts of things that you can do to just easily share to social media. So you can pick a picture and go from there and then add a little caption, type it in, and then go through and connect it to Instagram or Facebook or whatever. Okay. Share and save. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but when you use the share and save link, it will actually save you money. So you don't pay as much for your Etsy fees when somebody buys something through your Etsy link. So that's that shopname.etsy.com. You can copy it here. You can share a specific listing from that as well. But that share and save is key for saving you just a little bit of money. And then the custom web access, so that's going to be if you have like a separate web, like yourshopname.com. You have to be part of Etsy Plus to use that on here. That's not something I'm doing. I don't really think you need it, but to each their own. All right, let's see. We don't have to worry about policy violations. Customer service stats, that's where you're going to work towards your star seller badge. So you're looking at your message response rate, your on-time shipping and tracking, your average reviews. You want to have at least 80% of your messages replied to within 24 to 48 hours. But if you reply to 95% of them within 24 hours, you're eligible for star seller. For shipping, if 95% of your orders ship on time with tracking, you're eligible for star seller. And if your reviews are 4.8 or higher, you're eligible for star seller. You have to have all three of those to get the star seller badge. Okay. So you'll see here, like I'm meeting the standards. I don't think that I actually have star seller status for this shop right now, just because I haven't had any orders. So if you look here, you would see a star seller thing. I don't have it. Whereas on my Daybreak Digitals, there's that little purple. So I am a star seller on Daybreak Digitals. But I don't have that for Churchill Threads, which used to be Remembrance Art Shop, because I have to have sales consistently to be a star seller. All right, lots of talking here. I hope you're doing okay. If you guys need a pause, please pause. Like, go make some tea or coffee, come back. Like, this all doesn't have to be done immediately. Take your time and enjoy the process. All right, stats. This is where your information is going to show up. So how many people visited your items, how many orders you've had, conversion rate. That shows you what percentage of people who saw and viewed your actual item went ahead and purchased, and then your revenue. And if you don't know this, revenue and profit are not the same thing. So remember that you have production costs to subtract out from your revenue. Okay. Etsy search visibility. This is helpful because it will show you where you need to adjust things. If your listings all are optimized and you've got all of your shop policies set up and all of that, then you're going to get your shop is set up for success visual here. If there are areas where you can adjust things, it's going to give you suggestions to do that here. So go ahead and check on that. Orders, this is where your orders are going to show up. So I don't have any orders right now. It'll show you your completed orders. I can subtract out the last 30 days and I'll see other orders that I completed previously. Messages, so that's where you're going to get information from customers who maybe have questions or that sort of a thing. Okay, and then your listings. So let's do one more thing. We'll come back to the listings because you guys need to add your first listing. So I'll show you how to do that. All right. On your main dashboard part, you're going to click the part here that gives you the link to your site. Okay. That's going to open up your shop, but it is editable in this mode. Okay. So if you look over here, you've got edit shop. So that's what we're going to do. So this is some of the fun part again. So I want to change my shop banner. So since I am no longer the same, cherished memories, cherished custom keepsakes shop, I'm going to go ahead and change that out. So I'm deleting and I'm going to press add an image. And then I'm just going to come up with this banner, which I know I'm not going to like, but just for the sake of it, I'm putting it up there for you. Okay. And then you press save. Okay, so anyhow, I don't really want just woven blankets there, so I'll change that later. Add a shop title. So this is where you can say custom woven blankets, save. So now when you look at Churchill Threads, you see, okay, what is Churchill Threads? Do they just sell thread? No, it's custom woven blankets. Okay. You can change your location. So if you want people to know what city you're in, you can put that there. If you decide that you want to save or change your logo, you can click that from here and choose a different file. Okay. And then you can change, what's in your featured listings. So if you want these certain things to show up at the very top of your screen when somebody clicks on your shop, these will be the listings there. So you can add a listing. Let's see, I've got 2 already. Let's just see if, I think I only have 3 listings, but you could click on another blanket and press done there. Okay, so just save as you go. All right, you can add a shop announcement where that's going to say, welcome to my shop. We are now offering free shipping on all items. Yay! And press save. So just something that's exciting, bring some attention to that. Down below here, you'll get reviews. So these are all from items that I used to have previously before it was a blanket shop, but still shows that people enjoy my things. Okay. And then adding a color theme is, that's only available with Etsy Plus. So I was going to say, I didn't think that I have a color scheme option, but if you have Etsy Plus, you can change your color scheme. I don't think that's worth it for $10 a month, but that's just me. All right. So now we can actually go ahead and just see what it looks like in real life. So let's type it in here. And that's our shop. Okay, so we've got a shop banner, we've got a logo, we've got our featured items, although it didn't show all 3, so that probably just needs to update. Okay, but let's go back and add your first listing. Okay, so if you are doing a digital item, you're going to have to add a listing from Etsy. If you are doing print on demand, you're going to add your listing from Printify. So skip forward or stay here based on what you need to do. I'm going to show you how to do a digital item first. You're going to press add a listing. You're going to bring in your photo from that listing. So I'm just going to use my logo here, even though that's really not what we're doing, but We're going to add that in. You want to have at least 6 photos. So really just fill that out with different angles of whatever, or if you have a digital product, show it in use, show it in a lifestyle format, show specifics, a close-up on something that's really unique to it. Okay, but add in your photos there. Okay, then you're going to find a category. So this is going to be a digital print, let's say. So this would maybe be for wall art, okay? And then you're going to click digital files. When was it made? So if it's made to order, say you're doing custom graphic design for somebody for their own shop logos, made to order. If it's something that you're doing wall art that's easily printable and you made it this year, then you're going to do that 2020 to 2026. You're going to add your title. So that's going to be Churchill wall art. This is a terrible title, guys. Watch my other videos for how to create a listing, but you would add in your digital file there. You might have to do a zip drive. You might have to do a link through Google Drive, something like that, or Dropbox, that sort of a thing. But then that would be your link to actually get access to the file, or it's the actual file. It just has to be small enough that you can actually do it. And then you're going to type in your description, your tags. So make sure these are not repetitive, what materials they're made out of, any other information you can fill out as many attributes as possible. Your price is going to be whatever it costs. If it's a digital item, I would go for $9.99. That's the highest number of quantity that you're allowed to put in. That will allow you to sell it 999 times before you have to readjust that quantity. Since it is digital, it's shipping is an immediate purchase, so you don't have to worry about that. Who made it, what it is, a finished product. I did. It was created by me, or did you use AI? Any production partners. You can put in a shop section. So say it's in, an Valentine's Day wall art. You're going to put that there. You can choose to feature the listing or not. You can choose to renew it automatically or not. I usually renew expired listings myself rather than doing the automatic. That way I can address whether it's something that's selling well or if it's something I need to adjust. And then you would hit publish from there. Okay, that was a very brief overview, not ideal, not full SEO information, but that's kind of what you would do from here. Okay, now if you're using Printify, what you will do is you'll log into your Printify account, and then you're going to go to your product that you've already been working on, and you're going to go through everything on here. So you can adjust your photos on here. You adjust your title, your description, all of the information, your tags, any personalization options, your shipping. That's going to be automatically put in. I would not mess with that. But then here, like, we do want to offer free shipping now. So I can adjust this now to know what my profit is going to be, including the free shipping. So see here, the shipping cost is like $10 or $12 depending on the item. So you always want to make sure that your profit is going to, cover all of that cost. Sometimes Printify doesn't calculate this stuff accurately, so I always just leave wiggle room. Okay, and then you would highlight all of these if it's brand new. I'm just only going to address the pricing and the shipping profile, but then you click publish and then everything carries over onto Etsy automatically. Okay, so you have all of your listings ready to go because you prepared them ahead of time. You now have everything set up on your Etsy shop. You've got your policies in place, you've got your finances in place, and now you're ready to go. Okay, so I will show you one more little trick that will save you time, because if your shop only has 3 listings, somebody's gonna walk into it and be like, we've got 3 things to choose from, not my jam, and then they're just gonna leave, right? So you wanna have a good, healthy number. So this is an easy way to add a listing. Say we've got the digital listing here rather than the Printify one. What you would do is you would click on this little tool here and you would press copy. Okay, that's going to copy a new listing that you can now edit. So again, we had the wall art. So this is not a blanket here. This is a wall art that was printable, downloadable, digital. Okay, you would copy that listing and then you would put in your other wall art pictures for that. And then you would adjust the title and the description if you need to, but all of your other information's already there. And then you can make your copy by pressing publish. So super easy to do that. Saves you a ton of time because you don't have to click through all of the things as long as it's consistent. Okay, I'm going to cancel that one. Printify there's the same option. So over here, I'm going to make a variation on this blanket with all of my information already in it, but I'm just going to press here to duplicate. Okay, so now I can click the edit listing up here, or I can click on this part where it's unpublished, and it's going to take me to the same spot. So now I can edit the design and say, I'm just doing a variation where maybe we don't have the names of the family and it's just the tree. I just delete those out and I save the product. So super, super easy. Learning those little tricks can help you make life a little bit more efficient so you're not spending so much time preparing your shop for success. That's a wrap on today's video. So I will put a finalized checklist for you guys and I'll link that in the description. So I want to make sure that you have everything you need, that you can just go through and say check, 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 check. I did all of those things. So I'll have that for you. Please go ahead and like and subscribe. I'll try to get some more videos showing a more detailed look at how to make those listings. I do have some of those already if you check on my channel, but I'll try to do another one just as a little refresher. But if you have any questions about anything, please drop those in the comments. I'm happy to help you out if I can. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. So definitely drop a link to your finalized Etsy shop and we'll take a peek at that with you. So anyhow, go ahead and like, subscribe, share. I will see you guys next time. All right, bye.